Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial on the Nitro processing skip. This is the last major skip in any percent, at least at the time of recording this. And it's probably the most complex one in the run, which is why I think it really does need a tutorial. This is kind of like off balance where there's multiple parts to this skip. The first part of this is that we're going to bypass a trigger that gets rid of Ika Ika. And the way you do that is that, notice how there's an invisible wall on this side of the platform. There's one specific part where for some reason the wall just isn't there. And basically what you're going to do is that you're going to find that one part, walk through it, and then the anti-grav will pull you above the trigger that gets rid of Ika Ika. So it's about like right here. And then from there you just have to do that. And then from here, you really just don't want to die until the next checkpoint because it's really big time loss. But once you get to this checkpoint, you have Ika Ika for basically the remainder of the level. So that's the first part. And then the next part is just dodging all of this stuff, which Ika Ika makes a lot easier. Alright. So here's the next part of the skip. What you want to do is first off grab this mask for safety, and then you kind of want to line up to be on the edge right here. And then, so this is going to take multiple steps to explain. So the next part you're going to do is you're going to slide jump, and you're going to get very close to this wall here. And then you're going to trigger Ika Ika, which will pull you above the ceiling, and then when you're above the ceiling, you'll trigger him again to go back to normal gravity, and you're going to lightly tap right on the D-pad, and you should land on a very thin part of the wall. So slide jump about right here, and then trigger, and then just very lightly tap right like I just did there. You should land on this. Alright, so this next part, this entire setup was found by Depcow, and huge shoutouts to him for making this very consistent. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hold straight diagonal upright, do a slide spin, and then you kind of have to figure out your own visual cues here, but at a certain point, before you touch the water at the bottom, you want to trigger Ika Ika again. So, slide jump diagonal, about there you want to trigger Ika Ika, and then from here, you want to keep holding this until about when all of the green water disappears is my personal visual cue, and then you want to go back to normal gravity. And the whole time you want to hold diagonal upright. So about right there. And then you might need to you know, realign. But from here, like, everything's still deloaded and invisible. But in the bottom right, there is the doorway to the next part of the level, which is the checkpoint. And you kind of want to just, like, figure out how to land there. Alright, so, yeah. And there, I just broke the checkpoint. You can continue on from here, and you can do it even when it's invisible, and it'll eventually work out. But if you're new to this, I would honestly consider, after breaking the checkpoint, which you'll know you did because you'll collect some fruit, just jump into the water immediately and just death abuse, and it fixes everything. And you're at this part of the level, which skips that entire room where you wrap around the left side. It seems like a really big skip, but I think it only saves in the range of like 15 to 20 seconds because the skip itself takes a while to do. But it's still a pretty big time save that I would recommend going for. If you're just starting out, I can understand not wanting to do this one because it's very complex, but I don't think it's really too hard to learn once you get a feel for it. But yeah, that's like the major part of the skip. There is one more thing you can do where you can actually skip grabbing Kapunawa here, and you can actually carry Ika Ika to the end of the level. The setup for it is a little awkward, and I'm not actually sure if it saves any time. But basically, if you want to do the end of the level with Ika Ika, you can kind of just do a little maneuver here. And then from here, you can do whatever movement it takes to just end up over here. I personally don't do this in runs right now. When I timed it, it didn't seem like it was a particularly huge time save, if it saved any time at all. And you gotta like really work with weird cameras a lot. So And also, if you die, you respawn with Kapunawa. But the big part is really just the part where you just skip the entire huge room where you wrap around. But yeah, and that's the Nitro processing skip, and thanks for watching.